So today we're going to be having a look at the BMW F650GS DAKAR. If you'll remember from the last video, we had a look at an oil leak coming from the right hand cover gasket area. You might be able to pick it up down there, you might not, but basically what we're going to do, we're going to incorporate doing a bit of an oil change, replace the gasket and replace the oil filter, air filter, and just some other servicing things that we'll need to get this up and running. It's got a strange sump setup, so very little oil is actually held in the sump down there, and there's a bit of a false, well, of a sump up here, so the actual sump, oil sump, is in the false tank area, and very little is actually held in the main area of the engine. So we'll get the drain bolt from the other side undone. We'll get the drain bolt there undone, and we will get cracking. So we've got this catch pan here. It is the best investment I ever made. Before this, I used to just use old milk cartons and things, and it was doable, but I think I paid 15 quid for this setup, and it just is so much nicer. So we'll get this undone here. Just undo that and start things draining. Sorry you can't see there. Try to work with a camera and do things at the same time is not my strong point. Multitasking is not my strong point. And get all that drained. The oil doesn't look too bad a colour, but we can see on there, there's a couple of metal shavings. Get those flushed out. I'm sure they're nothing to worry about. I don't know what BMW's obsession with Torx heads are, but anything that I can replace with hex ones I will, but it's this one in here that I've had to buy a whole new tool for, because right down in that gap is just a Torx bolt, and I'm not for it. It's overcomplicating things. Keep things standard. A little trick that I like to use just when you can't get enough leverage on these things. Get it in there. See, I can't just get the angle on that, is to get a spanner, thread it over like that, make sure it's seated nicely, and just crack it open. You just get a lot more leverage. Now that I've cracked it open, it should follow through the rest of the way. Look at that. Got it. And then just these two down here. You don't need to see me doing this. I'll do this off camera. Okay, so that should come away nicely now. Perfect. So that's that one there. You can see actually on that front sprocket where you have a washer under there, and someone's tried to hammer it over. Not greatly, but it is hammered over, I suppose. What I'll probably do is get a new one of those in time as well, just so that that doesn't fail. Or actually no, I'm probably just going to hammer it over a bit more. I think it'll be fine. Super. And then we've got this one here that we need to take off, and some hoses and pipes and everything attached as well. We'll have a look. Another interesting thing that I've just found, how we've got a bit of a leak on this casing here. I thought, oh no, we're going to need a new gasket. It's a gasket failure. I'm just wondering, because all the other bolts up here are nice and tight, but when I went down here, they weren't torqued at all. I just wonder if I need to tighten the thing, whether I didn't need to buy a new gasket at all, but here we are. I think we're here now. We'll have a look inside and see if we can replace that gasket. Got the bolts out, and now we can hopefully take this away. So we've got it off. That's the stator, that's the flywheel. Removed a load of cables. Everything looks really clean and nice in there. So we'll have a bit of an overview. Replace that gasket there, which I'm sure was absolutely fine, but we're here now and we've split it on removal, so clean up the gasket surfaces, and they're looking pretty clean, to be fair, but we'll give them a bit of a wipe and a scrub, and yeah, see how we go from there. So you've got a layer of gasket sealant on both sides and the gasket just in there, and it is a case of just trying to fit everything and line everything up. So I've not got a stand yet, so we'll see it when it's back together. So we're back on, and let's thread all the bolts back in place. Quite lucky because all the bolts are the same length, so just a case of firing them all back in and getting it torqued down to spec. I say torqued down to spec. Nice and tight. Obviously, ideally done to a specified torque. So we're all back on, all torqued to spec, and we'll just connect all those cables back up. But actually, I think first what we'll do is we'll replace the oil filter. Now, just doing the sump plug at the bottom, it's not actually drained the top tank, so I think I'm going to have to find an oil hose somewhere to try and help drain that top tank, just to get a full flush through of the oil, but we'll have a look and see. So we got that off, and take that out of the way. Loads of oil spilling everywhere. Fantastic. I can just drain it in the catch can. And we've got this filter here to try and wiggle out. Let's see if we can't get a screwdriver in there to just lift it off. Perfect. Oh my goodness, that is tight in there. Come on. There we go. Spewing oil everywhere. Wonderful. Now then, let's get the new oil filter. What I'm going to do is just take some of the old oil and grease the seal, triple checking that they both look the same. I know I should probably prime this with oil, but realistically it'll be alright. Pop that nicely in there. Check the old cap. That all looks nice and clean. Give it a bit of a wipe. Okay, back on and all in place. Just got to put our rear suspension thing back in, back with our Red Bull label, and that's us sorted. And I'll have a bit of a look towards the draining the rest of the oil from the upper tank. Probably should have done that after the filter, but before the filter, but here we are. Taking a look on this side, we I think just have to get this oil tank and undo some clips and literally pour it out. It's you can see it's a bit wibbly wobbly on there. We'll see about how we can get it poured out into that tray without spilling too much. Cut that. Thanks, BMW. I'm sure there's an easier way than this, but this is the way we're doing it. Why? Why is it so difficult? I prefer Japanese bikes. That's the tank emptied. What we're going to do is go around and replace the sump plug and O-ring, copper washer, and get it filled back in duft. There is a drain plug there. I'll undo the drain plug and get the rest of it out, but undoing that drain plug is the way to get the oil out of the tank, believe it or not. But at least we've had a good explore on the other side, and yeah, we'll get it topped. So everything's back together, and what the manual says is to fill the top sump with 2 litres of oil and then run the bike for 30 seconds and then top it back up to spec, which will be around 300 mils. So we'll get that filled up there. Check and see where we're at, how far we've gone. It's only half a litre. Try not to be cack-handed about it. See how many that is. 1.5. Oh, nearly there. Nearly overflowing. It's gonna be it. Yeah, 2 litres. And then we'll pop the cap on. We'll start her up. Lights gone off, so the oil pressure is clearly good. It will just be the level that we're worried about. So it runs 30 seconds. You can hear even the pitch change in the engine. That's the oil running through it? I don't know. I'm sure that'll be fine. Let me check and see what it is. So there we are, that's all sorted. That's how to change the right engine cover gasket and the oil filter and oil of the BMW F650GS DAKAR. Not 100% smoothly, a few hiccups along the way, but sorted. The next video we'll be looking at doing a bit of a service on the front brakes, and then we can get the pads replaced on that and have a bit of a look at cleaning the calipers themselves. But no, thanks for watching and see you next time.